Hi, welcome to another video, and today we're going to be looking at the crab walks or monster walks, whatever you prefer to call them, lateral squatting actions with a rubber band. These are quite great way to build in some good strength into the glutes and create really nice alignment through the lower limbs, to prevent knee injuries and things like that. So if we just have a close look at this is Kim demonstrating some good form here. You can see how when she takes a step out, she's around about just shoulder width, and she's got like a really nice alignment through the lower limbs, really good control. So it's really nice squatting action here. That's a perfect squatting action. Really good hip control. So she's going to generate some really good strength into the glutes, but the hamstrings, quads, all that involved. But the lateral movement just brings into the play the glutes in a big way. Now, the big mistake I often see with this exercise is people taking too big a stance. So they're going too wide when they step out. So Kim demonstrates what we would often see. I prefer to use this squatting action, so when they step out they squat down as opposed to staying in the bent over position. I prefer, it just helps people to learn how to integrate this into an actual squatting action. So see how she's taken too big a step, and you'll see on this next one just the horrible alignment it creates through the knee especially, but there's really no strength being able to be gained from the glutes abducting out here because the band is just too powerful, and it's just creating that horrible alignment. All right, so that's the biggest mistake we see with this, is when people taking that too big a step. So you want to just be about shoulder width stance. All right, so you can see there where she steps, it would have been better to have stepped around about there. All right, and she would have been able to keep a nice alignment through the lower limb, get more control of the exercise, and it'll work exactly the way you want. So you just have to be a bit more disciplined in understanding that you don't want to overstep. People just do it to try and gain more distance, and I don't know, maybe to get the exercise over with, or maybe just don't have a poor awareness of what to do. All right, so the other thing, I like to have the band up around the knees too. So you see Kim doing some nice form here. And you can see back to that nice action that we had before. See much more control through there, and it's not collapsing inward. All right. So that's the first mistake we often see. And you see how she can get that nice control of the hips when she squats, where the other one couldn't. Now, when we're doing the crab walks, sometimes people will use this bent over position, staying over in it. I don't mind it in some ways, but it doesn't really transfer into how you're really going to move as a squat itself, which is the timing of the ankle, knee and hip are more important than you really would just do this in a sport or anything really where you're staying bent over. You're really going to go down, pick something up, come up, or you're going to be preparing to jump. I find it just it's okay as an isolated thing, but I'll get more from it if I actually make it look like the squat. All right. Now, if I'm going to cover the band around the ankles versus the knees there, again, I wouldn't say it's wrong. Maybe you might prefer it down there. I've just found it works better by having it around the knees. People will gain more control because usually it's the hip that's the reason you're using the exercise anyway. So if I have it closer to the hip, I have a better chance of executing it right. Again, this sort of encourages that too wider stance, and I find just having it around here, it gives them a better understanding of how to control the alignment through the knee and really driving it from the glutes, where this is sort of, encourages more cheating, I suppose. All right, so I find that this version is not as effective. All right, but if it works for you, that's fine. Just remember not to overstride and get more control through the hip. All right. A great exercise you can use for building into that strength in lateral movements. It's great for agility warm-ups, so prior to doing all these lateral change of direction exercises, it's an excellent exercise. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed that video, and we'll see you on our next one.